Every living entity in this material world is trying to know or approach the absolute truth based upon their swabhav nature, their chitta consciousness and manasthiti state of mind. So to cater to this various levels of consciousness, Vyasdev compiled many scriptures. Some section of the Vedas caters to people in the mode of ignorance and tries to uplift them to the mode of passion. Some scriptures or some section of the Vedas cater to people in the mode of passion and tries to uplift their consciousness to the mode of goodness. That's why you feel that when you read some part of the scriptures that this is not for us. Why are Vedas describing such methods, such rituals? Why is that? That's what people in the mode of goodness feel. But we have to understand that scriptures is not just for us, but for everyone with different levels of their consciousness. So, we have to understand that. Then there are certain sections of the Vedas which are cater to the people in the mode of goodness and tries to uplift them to the mode of transcendental plane, Shuddha Sattva Guna. So today, the day of Radhashtami is a day where devotees on this transcendental plane, they try to meditate and dig deeper into this vast ocean of Vedic scriptures, and because they are not satisfied with what is available directly in the scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. If you want to know about Atma, Paramatma, Kala, Prakriti, Karma, you refer to Bhagavad Gita. If you want to know about various avatars of the Lord, you refer to Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1 to 9. If you want to know about Purna Purushottam Krishna, you refer to 10th Canto. But the topmost secret of this Vedic scripture is Srimati Radharani. And there is no mentioning of Srimati Radharani in entire Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. So devotees try to dig deeper on the day of Radhashtami. The secret is so deep, it's so hidden that Krishna himself had to take the incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to understand it, to describe it to the people that what Srimati Radharani is. He took the incarnation to understand what is the mellow Srimati Radharani experiences by loving him. If Krishna himself doesn't know it, so you can understand what is the level of secret that is. So today we are going to try to understand Srimati Radharani in three different perspectives. First is Tattva perspective. We will see what is Radha Tattva. Then we have Bhav perspective. We'll try to understand what is the mood of Srimati Radharani. We'll try to make it relatable. We'll try to make it accessible. And once we can access it, we'll try to take a dip in it. The way whenever we see a swimming pool, what we do, we just directly jump into it. So today after making that love of Srimati Radharani accessible, we'll try to take a dip into it. Okay, so let's start with Radha Tattva. Now please try to focus your attention today, because the topic of Srimati Radharani is such that it quickly escalates. Now it will sound philosophical and suddenly it will switch the mood. So please be with me as much as possible. So to start with, Krishna has three different energies: Bahiranga Shakti, Tathastha Shakti and Antaranga Shakti. Bahiranga Shakti is external energy, the potency by which Krishna maintains this material world, creates this material world, maintains it and annihilates it. He takes care of all the affairs of this material world through Bahiranga Shakti, the external energy. Then we have Tathastha Shakti. Tathastha Shakti is between Bahiranga and Antaranga. That's why it is called as marginal energy. Living entities are part of this Tathastha Shakti. That's why living entities have been given the will to move towards Krishna, Antarang Shakti, or move towards Maya, Bahiranga Shakti. Agenda of today is not to look into Bahiranga and Tathastha Shakti today. Our focus is Antaranga. So let's try to focus on Antaranga Shakti and zoom it. When you zoom it, you find there are three aspects of Antaranga Shakti: Sandhini Shakti, Samvit Shakti, and Ladini Shakti. Sandhini Shakti, the potency by which he maintains his existence. Krishna maintains his own existence, what he is, what his characteristics are, that is maintained by Sandhini Shakti. Second is Samvit Shakti, the potency by which he knows himself and others. In Bhagavad Gita, we come to know about principle of Kshetrajna. There are two knowers, Krishna and living entity. Living entity knows some part of himself and something about others, but not in full. But Krishna knows everything about himself and everything about everyone else. So that power of having that knowledge, that comes from Samvit Shakti. And third comes Ladini Shakti, the potency by which he derives pleasure, or the potency which gives him pleasure and nourishes all the devotees, that is Ladini Shakti. So we saw Sandhini Shakti, Samvit Shakti and Ladini Shakti. Again, Sandhini and Samvit is something which is not our focus area today. Our focus area is Ladini Shakti. Again, the definition is the potency which gives pleasure to Krishna and nourishes his devotees, that is Ladini Shakti. To understand this Ladini Shakti, we'll see two verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Ladini rasara prema, prema sara bhava, bhavera parama kashtha, nama mahabhava. The essence of Ladini potency is love of God. The essence of love of God is bhava, and the ultimate development of emotion is mahabhava. I will reiterate it second time. The essence of Ladini potency is love of God. The essence of love of God is bhava, and the ultimate development of this bhava, when the bhava grows fully, expands fully, it is called as mahabhava. Mahabhava Swarupa Shri Radha Thakurani Sarva Guna Khani Krishna Kanta Shiromani. Shri Radha Thakurani is the embodiment of this Mahabhava. She is the repository of all good qualities and the crest jewel among all lovely consorts of Lord Krishna. So, we saw Ladini Shakti. Take this, imagine a funnel. Ladini Shakti gets condensed into love of God. Love of God gets condensed into Bhav. Bhav, when expands fully, it becomes Mahabhav. And Mahabhav is, embodiment of Mahabhav is Srimati Radharani. So this is Radha Tattva. This is the condensed and simplest form of Radha Tattva we can see on this day. Otherwise it is a very deep topic and we won't be able to justify this in short span of 40 minutes. So we'll move to the next one, is understanding Srimati Radharani from Bhava perspective. What is the nature of Srimati Radharani's love? As I said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally came to give this, to understand this mood of Srimati Radharani, to give the love of Srimati Radharani to Krishna to everyone else. So when he came, he spoke on length about this topic, this secret of Srimati Radharani and her love to Sanatana Goswami for 2 months in Varanasi. For 2 months. And the same topic he discussed again with Rupa Goswami for 10 days in Prayagraj. Definitely we are not going to cover the content of 2 months and 10 days with Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami in this just session. But we will try to take one particular verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is part of this discussion. Adav Shraddha Tatha Sadhu Sango Atha Bhajana Kriya Tato Anartha Nivritti Shyat Tato Nishtha Ruchis Tatah अथा शक्तिस्ततो भावस् ततः प्रेमाभ्युदञ्चति साधकानाम् अयं प्रेम्णः प्रादुर्भावे भवेत् क्रमः. How many of you have heard this verse, Adhav Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha? This verse actually speaks about 9 stages where a devotee gradually develops from phase of Shraddha to Prema at the end. So how many of you have heard this verse? And most of you might think that we are at the 4th stage of Anartha Nivritti. Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti. We are at that 4th stage. In last 20 years, we are at the 4th stage, Anartha Nivritti. In the next 25 years, we will achieve Prema, maybe like 30-35 years if I am a little bit slow or Krishna doesn't give his mercy. But at the end of lifetime, I am going to achieve Prema. That's what our belief system is. Okay. Now let's see what the Acharyas actually describe this verse and what they give. So I was hearing to His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj. He gave a very beautiful series of Radhashtami, a 5-day series, and he was speaking on this particular verse. So let's see the translation of this verse first. Adhav Shraddha. Shraddha means firm faith or disinterested in material affairs and interest in spiritual advancement. Shraddha is firm faith, dhrad vishwas, having full faith that Krishna is the supreme well-wisher. He is our supreme well-wisher. Serving him is the only benefit for us. We don't have any material desire left in our heart. Our only desire is to serve him. That is the faith one should have. And this is the start of the bhakti. Having the dhrud vishwas that Krishna is the only thing for us. Bhakti starts with that faith. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 17 chapter 1st verse that Trividha bhavati shraddha dehinam sa swabhavaja. Faith is built by our swabhav. Our eternal swabhav is to serve Krishna. Jivera swarup hoy Krishna nityadas. That is our eternal nature. But being part of this material world for so long, our swabhav has become to enjoy our senses, to extend our life in this material world, try to make it better and better, so-called better. Radha Govind Maharaj says, Shraddha is, in Hindi it's a Hriday ka saral jhukav, the natural inclination of our heart. Our natural inclination has become enjoying our senses, watching a movie, having good food, having better sex life. That's what our natural inclination has become. Our behavior and activities are reflection of our sadhana. Reflection of our Shraddha. Whatever our Shraddha is, it will reflect in our all behaviors and all our activities. So again, Shraddha is that having firm faith and with no material desire. That is the starting point of bhakti. Now, how many of you still feel you have crossed this particular stage of Shraddha? At least for me, I don't even think that I have that much Shraddha in Krishna. But yeah, I'm aspiring to have it. Then comes the next stage, Adhav Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha, association with pure devotees. Based on one's Shraddha, one chooses his association. If I want to be a drunkard, I will associate with drunkards. If I want to be a movie director, I will associate with the people who are in movie making business. If I want to become a devotee, I will definitely try to be in association of devotees. It doesn't matter whether I like devotees or I don't like devotees. I have a problem with someone or not. I will still try to be in his association because I have a firm faith that Krishna is my well-wisher. I will take shelter of his devotees only. And once you take shelter of sadhu sangha, what you do next part? Bhajana kriya. The synonym of bhajan kriya is performance of devotional service to Krishna, surrendering to the spiritual master and being encouraged by the association of devotees. That is bhajan kriya. When you come in association of devotees, you get to know about how to perform bhakti. What are the 64 limbs of a devotional service? You get to know about 9 processes of devotional service: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Sparanam, Padasevanam, Marchanam, Mandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. You get to know that chanting and hearing is the primary sadhana, is primary in our sadhana bhakti. We take shiksha from Siksha Guru. We take teachings from our Siksha Guru. We take initiation from our Diksha Guru, and we take his shelter and we perform our devotional service. After taking Diksha, that is the time when our real service to Krishna starts. Our services starts reaching Krishna. All these 9 stages which we are describing today, think the analogy of Shraddha being a small seed. Seed is growing and growing to become a tree. That is prema. Or take the analogy of milk. Shraddha getting condensed to become kalakan, that sweet milk cake. So when you are engrossed in your bhajan kriya, the firm faith within your heart gets condensed more and more and more. And then comes the stage of anartha nivritti. Anartha, the Sanskrit word anartha. Artha means meaningful, having some meaning. Anartha means one which is meaningless. It doesn't have any artha. Anartha nivritti means getting rid of all those things which doesn't have any meaning in our life. The real meaning in our life is to serve the Lord. All other sense enjoyment, all our this material comforts have actually no sense. Getting rid of those attachments and so-called desires, that is something that we have to get rid of. Anartha, we have to get rid of this kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsar. We have to get rid of this shadripu. That is anartha nivritti. And this is one of the longest stages. Once you are freed from these anarthas in your heart, then comes the stage of nishtha. If you see the translation of nishtha, it is said firm faith. So both Shraddha is also translated as firm faith and nishtha is also translated as firm faith. So what is the difference between two? Shraddha and nishtha. Both are firm faith. Acharyas in their commentary, they describe it that, okay, how many of you have how many of you have seen the flow of water coming from a tap? If you see it closely, it is not a smooth flow. It is rough. On some side it is stronger, some side it is weaker. Okay, it is like rough flow. And in India, we used to have this ration line where we used to get oil in a subsidized rate. And there where they used to give oil from the tap. And that flow would be very smooth. It would be like a rod, a golden rod. So smooth, no interruptions. Shastra says it taila dhara. Taila means oil, dhara means flow. The flow like oil, nishtha is taila dhara. Uninterrupted flow of faith. In Shraddha, your faith gets dwindles. At Shraddha stage, your faith gets dwindled because of your material situations. Today I'm happy, so I will do my devotional service. Today I'm not happy, so I won't do my chanting. I have nice relationship with the devotees, so I will come to the temple. Today I don't I have a fight with this particular devotee, so I won't come to the temple. That is the dwindling stage of Shraddha. In Nishtha stage, it doesn't matter. Your faith towards Krishna is uninterrupted. Your focus is only service of Krishna, nothing more. That is Nishtha, Tailadhara. When Nishtha is done for a longer time, your faith becomes more and more determined. You have natural inclination to serve the Lord. You will have that taste in that bhajan. You will have that ruchi in bhajan. There will be strong pull towards Krishna in serving Him. Then after ruchi comes asakti. Asakti, the translation is attachment. Now let's break the word asakti. A means full, sakti means getting caught or entangled in. So asakti means getting entangled in love of Krishna. Getting entangled fully in the love of Krishna. Children have asakti towards playing. You don't have to tell children that go and play. They might play in mobile or they may play outside, but they will play. You don't have to tell them. Similarly, for a devotee, asakti means you don't have to tell him or her that please chant Krishna's name, please chant holy name, chant your 16 rounds. You don't have to tell them. They will naturally chant. They will be naturally doing service. Best part of Iskcon Mississauga is that it is a new center, so there are n number of services. But the problem is, we don't have enough volunteers to do service. The volunteers are naturally don't have that asakti to the Lord to come and serve. You have to push them in serving the Lord. Dharma Prabhu was saying people don't bow down when darshan of the Lord opens. You have to tell them to bow down. When at the stage of asakti, you don't have to tell someone bow down. Automatically seeing the darshan of the Lord, one feels grateful and he bows down in front of the deities. That is asakti. That is the stage of asakti. Then comes bhava. When asakti spreads on every activity of a person, that stage is called bhava. Each and every activity, what you do, you will be in constant association with Krishna. This happens only in Shuddha Sattva, not even in the mode of goodness. You have to transcend that mode of goodness. And it's not a mere sentiment. How many of you have seen that latest Narsimha movie, right? Everyone might have shed tears at least in one scene of that movie. At least in one scene of your own choice. But you might have shed tears. A devotee should be doing. If you're not, then it's a bigger problem. But yeah, so you might have shed tears. How many of you were continuing to shed tears after coming home also, after a few days also? That is the mere temporary sentiment. But at the stage of bhava, the sentiment is not temporary. It is continuous. Your heart is still longing for Krishna. You think Krishna is ours, only He is ours and I am His. That is stage of bhava. To meditate on this mood of bhava, we'll see one particular story. There was a devotee named Govinda Das in Vallabha Sampradaya. He was in Sakhyaras, having a relationship of friendship with Krishna. He used to talk with Krishna, he used to play with Krishna all day, all long. He was in the temple of Srinathji. So Srinathji would personally come with him and play with him. So one day they were playing marbles. Marbles, in Hindi we say it's goti. Mumbai we used to say it goti, and in North Indian side they say it's kanche. Okay, but I'm not sure what they call in South, but yes, I hope you understand what is marbles. So they used to play, Govindas and Krishna used to play marbles. And the rule of marble is that the person who wins takes all the marbles of the person who loses. That's how the game is played. So when they were playing, Govindas actually won. And when he won, he was so happy. Krishna, being the jealous of Govinda, he started saying, no, I won. And he snatched away the marbles from Govindas. Govindas was angry. He said, you are such a cheater, you can't even take one proper loose. You are not a good sports person. I won, this is my marbles, you are supposed to give me marbles and you are snatching mine. And hearing this, Krishna started running away from Govindas. And then Govinda started running behind Krishna and shouting, hey Kalya, you are a cheater, give me my marbles, I won. And everyone in the temple around, they can't see Krishna. They are seeing Govindas is running like this and talking to someone who doesn't even exist. That's what they were seeing. They thought that he's like a mad person. But actually he's King Krishna. And he's running after Krishna. Then when Govinda saw that Krishna is running very fast, right? He picked up a stone and wanted to throw it on Krishna. When Krishna saw that Govinda has picked up a stone, he got scared. And he took a U-turn and ran towards the deity and just entered into the deity. Govinda saw that Krishna has entered into the deity. Govinda went with that stone and was about to hit the deity. At that time, Pujari saw it and he closed the darshan. He said, like, he's a mad person. He's throwing a stone on the deity. So that Pujari went to Vallabhacharya, who is actually the guru of Govindadas, and complained him that Govindadas is throwing a stone on Srinathji. Now, the beauty of this pastime is Govindadas is in Sakhyaras and Vallabhacharya is in Vatsalyaras. He is in that parental affection towards Krishna. He is in the mood of Yashoda Mai. And what happens when someone complains to a mother about the children? Mothers don't agree to it. They get more and more angry on that person who is complaining. So here Govindas is complaining. So when Vallabhacharya comes to Govinda and says, what are you doing? Why are you throwing stone at my child? Because she's Yashodamai, he's Yashodamai, right? So why are you throwing a stone on my child? Govinda is not seeing his guru Vallabhacharya, he is seeing Yashodamai over there and saying, your son is a cheater, we were playing marbles, he took my marbles and is now going back and standing as a deity and with my marbles. Please ask him to give me my marbles or I will throw a stone at him. Vallabhacharya Yashodamai said, you are a very bad person. You are always harassing my sweet little child. Cheater? He can never be a cheater. Every one of us know that Krishna is a cheater, but Yashodamai thinks that no, he is not a cheater. He is a very good boy. You are a bad association with him. From tomorrow, I won't allow you to play with Krishna. Hearing this, Govindas just sat down and started crying. Then Yashodabai went inside the deity room and he said to Krishna, Krishna, from tomorrow you are not going to play with Govindas, he is a bad association for you. And then Krishna, Srinathji himself sat down and started crying. This is the stage of bhava where you are not externally practicing Krishna consciousness, you are actually with Krishna. Your mood is with him throughout the day, 24/7, for the rest of the eternity. That is bhav. And when this bhav intensifies further, it takes the form of love. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Siksashtakam says, he's in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So he's saying to Krishna, Aslishyava padaratam pinashtumam adarshanam marmhatam karotuva yatha tatha va viditartulam pato mat prananathastu saeva napara. Krishna, I'm falling at your lotus feet. It doesn't matter whether you embrace me, hug me, or kick me, trample me. You alone will be my worshipable Lord. That is the mood of the Srimati Radharani. We try to understand Radha from Tattva. We try to understand the mood of Srimati Radharani. We try to make it relatable, accessible. Now let's take a dip into that mood of Srimati Radharani. Oh, before that, in this word, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has used the word sadhaka naam, not bhakta naam. He is not saying bhakta can achieve this stage of from Shraddha to Prema. Sadhaka naam. The beauty of the word sadhaka naam is, in Hindi there is a word sadhana, laksha sadhana. Okay? So, sadhan means the medium through which you attain sadhya, that is object of your goal. Sadhana means focusing on a goal. Sadhan means the medium through which you focus, and sadhya means the object of focus. So for a devotee, sadhan is holy name, sadhya is Krishna, and the person who takes the holy name and focuses on Krishna, that is sadhaka. And this is possible for a sadhaka. We have to understand. Many people don't have faith that prema can be achievable. Definitely it is achievable by the mercy of the Lord. Till asakti, it is our hard work. After asakti, Krishna takes charge, and that mercy will be given by Srimati Radharani and Krishna. You can't achieve on your own. So this stages from Shraddha to Prema is achievable by a sadhaka. Now we have understood that what is the mood of Srimati Radharani. Let's take a dip into that mood. I will quickly tell a very beautiful pastime. One day, Krishna and Srimati Radharani were sitting on a pond. It is a beautiful full moon night. The light of the moon is falling on their faces, on their moon-like faces. And all the Sakhis are surrounding them and sitting near that pond. And they are like this Chataka birds who are looking at that, drinking the moon-like nectar from their moon-like faces. At that time, one bumblebee comes and sits on the ear of Srimati Radharani. And it's a nature of any fly, right? They will make that kind of sound. And it is very irritating. Specifically when you try to sleep, they will always come and make that sound. And it is very irritating. So Srimati Radharani was also very irritated with that. At that time, Madhumangal, who saw that this bumblebee is disturbing Srimati Radharani, he came and he chastised that bumblebee and chased it away. After he chased that bumblebee away, he came and said, Madhusudan has gone away now. One of the meaning of the word Madhusudan is one which takes nectar from flower. So when he said Madhusudan has gone away, he meant bumblebee. When this happened, Srimati Radharani was sitting on the lap of Krishna. But when she heard that Madhusudan has gone away, she thought that Madhusudan is Krishna. That's another name of Krishna. Krishna has left me. As soon as she's sitting on her Krishna's lap, but when she heard this word Madhusudan has gone away, her heart was engulfed with sorrow. She felt choked. She was not able to breathe. She was uneasy. She started crying. Why did Krishna leave me? That is the stage of prema. She is in that love for Krishna. One moment of separation is not acceptable for her. She started crying intensely. Seeing Srimati Radharani cry, Krishna started crying. He was saying that I cannot see Srimati Radharani crying, and he started crying. Now both Srimati Radharani and Krishna both are crying. Seeing them all, Sakhi started crying. They were shedding so much tears, they were sweating so profusely, ground around them started becoming wet. But they continued to shed tears, and the tears went on to merge with the pond, and the pond started swelling more and more. It increased many folds. It was overflowing to the banks of rivers. And then, after so much shedding tears, all of them fell unconscious. So there were two birds, Shuka and Shari, on the parrots. Two birds were sitting on the branch of a nearby tree. They saw this situation. Shuka started saying Krishna Krishna, and Shari started saying Radha Radha. When this words of Shuka saying Radha Radha fell on the ears of Krishna, Krishna woke up. When the words of Shari, words of Shari, when she said Radha Radha, Krishna woke up. And words of Shuka, when he said Krishna Krishna, that fell on ears of Radharani woke up. And when they saw each other, they felt as if they are meeting each other after millions of lifetimes. And they hugged each other, they embraced each other with all the love in their heart. That is the stage of prema. You love each other so much. The love of Srimati Radharani is so much that she cannot bear a moment of separation from Krishna. This pond, this sarovar, which was filled with the tears of love of Srimati Radharani to Krishna, went on to become called as Prem Sarovar. So on this day, we will pray to Srimati Radharani that please shower some drops of this Prem Sarovar on us. Engage in our service to Krishna and to her, because that is our only hope. Otherwise, on our own, we won't be able to achieve it. That's all for today. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.